Okay, you guys, I am so freaking excited to be here with two powerful coaches, and we're going to be teaching you how to get your belief back. What we have done through tons of studies with psychology is we have learned that belief drives behavior. And so the life that we've created, there's some beautiful things in our lives, but we might sit back and think, hey, you know what? I don't have very much energy. I'm tired all the time, or I'm frustrated, or I find myself yelling, or I don't treat myself very well. And a lot of that comes back to what we believe about what's possible, what we deserve. Are we worthy? Do we have time? So we're going to talk about those things and figure out how to. And we're going to teach you how to get your belief so that you take massive action in your life, but also believe in yourself and give yourself love, because the more love we give to ourselves, the more we have to give to others. Okay. So here we go. I'm going to share screen and we're going to get going. Okay. So get your belief back so you can finally learn to start filling our belief so you can take on every day feeling pumped and motivated. I love this quote by Abraham Lincoln. He says, the best thing about the future is it comes one day at a time. So sometimes we start to believe that we have to make all these crazy changes at once. And that's actually not going to be the case. And a lot of times that can be counterproductive. There are going to be times in our life where we feel like we can take on more things. But if we wait for the perfect time, we're going to be waiting forever. So I'm going to teach you how to do things very carefully, strategically, one thing at a time, starting with belief. Okay. So I am Kira Miranda. I am the founder of Empire Rewire, the Get Your Pink Back workshop, which is very similar to Get Your Belief Back workshop that we're doing here. And I teach more energy, less BS. I rewind, 6 years ago, I was a burnt out teacher. I was struggling. You're going to hear a little bit more about this. I was living paycheck to 3 days before paycheck. And I was giving this opportunity to start taking care of myself and to make money doing it. I was like, oh, no, that's not really a thing. That's a scam. But I had such bad postpartum depression that I was like, I do need to do something, because I remember when the last time I felt good and the last time I felt like I wasn't tired all the time was when I was playing basketball in college. That was the last time I remember feeling good. And 3 kids later, I'm like, I need to move my body. So we started using the workouts. I fell in love, and it's all history. So I'm going to tell you a lot more about that. But I am a certified life coach, and I have this team of amazing coaches here who have some awesome skills. We have Lynn coming in. Hey, we have these awesome skills that teach you how to get your belief back, and some really, really cool things. So I was in education for 10 years. I was a health and health science teacher. I have a bachelor's from the University of Utah in health promotion education with a minor in coaching. And I have my MBA and master's in business. And I got so fascinated with the psychology and how we think and how our beliefs drive behavior. So that's why I really leaned into the coaching realm, because I started to notice when I was taking care of myself and when I believed in myself, I was able to be more patient with those around me. And I was a better mom, and I was a better teacher. I was a better coworker. And I started sharing that with other people, and I became so passionate about helping people believe in themselves. It was super cool. So yes, this is me. This is my team here. You're going to see our team here. You were invited by our team of incredible women who are passionate about the same thing, about not just feeling good ourselves, but helping the world around us feel good, because the world is a better place when we're happy and when we're healthy, because we're treating people, hurt people. So if you're not hurting, you're going to be treating people very differently. And we all are here because we want to make this world a better, safer, happier place for our babies. And we do that by taking care of ourselves first, right? So let's get started on why we lost our belief. And that makes it so freaking hard to feel motivated and take care of ourselves without feeling like we're dropping all of the balls. Is there anybody here that feels like you just drop balls everywhere? Like do you ever have those days where you feel like you can't do anything right? We're going to talk about that. Yes. Okay. So experts have told us, okay, we're going to rewind a little bit and we're going to learn why our brains think the way that they do. Okay. Experts have told us in order to be a successful or a great mom, you have to be grateful for the time you have with this one. This one was so frustrating. I remember getting like 1 hour of sleep and telling my mom or my mother-in-law, I was like, I'm so tired. And she was like, you need to be grateful for this time because it goes by quickly. I'm like, it's really hard for me to feel grateful when my nipples are on fire. I feel like I'm sitting on fire and I'm exhausted, right? It's hard to take that in, right? And so, there's just like a little bit of frustration there. Experts tell us in order to be a good mom, you have to sacrifice all of your joy and time for them. Don't give into your cravings when you're pregnant. And then people say, but do give into your cravings when you're pregnant. I've heard people say, you need to gain more weight. And then I've heard people say, you don't gain too much weight. In order to be a good mom and be healthy, live on salads. Keep your house clean. Get ready every single, I'm going to mute you. I love you, but I'm going to mute you real quick. Keep your house clean. Get ready every single day. Don't eat any carbs. Be a certain size. You only have so much time to have a baby, so hurry up and have all the babies. Don't have your kids too young. We're being told all these different things by society, because all of a sudden society is the expert, right? Or being told by doctors, or nutritionists or people, only eat organic, only eat home cooked meals. So here's the thing is, when we're hearing all these things, only do this, only do these, and these things are hard, and some of them are the exact opposites of each other, right? So it's like, you're too skinny, or you're not skinny enough, or those what do we do here, right? These crazy expectations. And when we think of it, this one, there's one that, where was it? There's a saying in my head, and it's going to come up later. I remember, it's so good. Okay. But the truth is, you are not where you want to be because society and experts tell you that you need to be this 1920s housewife on today's cost of living and insane expectations. So that's where our belief went, because we're sitting here listening to people in society, and expectations tell us that we're failures because we're not doing all of these things perfect, but it's impossible, right? It is impossible. I have heard so many times that I wasn't a good mom because I was working. And then I heard when I was a stay-at-home mom that I wasn't a good woman because I wasn't out working. Okay. So rewind. I'm going to go back to my PowerPoint. I'm so glad you guys are still in here. Okay. My goodness, that was crazy. Thank you guys for your patience. Freaking technology, right? Okay. Share screen. There you are. Get your belief back. Share. Okay, can you guys see?
Yep.
View. Slideshow. Okay. That was crazy. Okay, so the truth is, all of the time that we feel like we're failures, all of the time where we've lost belief, I want you to know that it is not your fault. So the shame, the doubt, the guilt that you have carried for not being perfect, it is not your fault. So I want you to take a breath in and breathe out the guilt, the shame of not having the success that you want. And because it's not your fault, because we have been living these crazy expectations, right? And the only time I want you to have this thought in mind, the only time that you are behind in life is when you are comparing yourself to someone else. You are exactly where you're meant to be, to hear whatever message you need to hear, to learn whatever lesson you need to learn. You are in the right space and time. Sometimes it's just about being receptive to that, right?
Okay. Videoing me.
So,
I might be muted.
In the core of life coaching and just coaching in general, we believe that you have everything inside that you need to create a reality that you want, but your superpower comes from being you and not other people. So we want to stop comparing and we want to live in our light. Okay. Originally, I wasn't going to show this picture. Okay. I wasn't going to share this picture because there's such a negative connotation with side-by-sides right now. But the reason why I decided to go ahead and share it is because these results that I got, I have physical results from a program that I did because I focused on how I felt. I didn't focus on a size. I actually, for the first 6 months, I didn't step on a scale. And the only thing I measured was my energy and how I felt, my patience with my kids, the things that actually matter. Honestly, our size doesn't matter. It's just a number. It really doesn't. Our energy and our belief and our confidence, that's what freaking matters. So the truth is, the only weight that you need to lose is the weight of shame, guilt, comparison, and the F's given of other people's opinions. Because another person's opinions of you is none of your business. The only one that matters is how you feel. Okay. And here's another reason why I wanted to share this picture with you is because experts say that you can't get results if you eat out, right? But I ate out whenever I wanted and whenever I needed, and these are the results that I got. A lot of it is what you focus on, okay? And you don't have to spend hours in a gym. You don't have to go on a diet. You don't have to do anything that you absolutely don't want to do and don't value, because I got these results exercising 20 minutes and focusing on my mental health. Because who has time for 2 hours in a gym, right? And when I did have a gym membership, I had to pay for childcare. I had to pay for the gym membership. Like, it was insane. Who can afford that, right? It's just crazy. So we want to focus our belief on what we're capable of and what we're worthy of. And honestly, most of us still don't even know what we're capable of. And that's what's the exciting part, is there's no lid or roof on what we are capable of. Okay. So I want to tell you guys the story. And this is really going to drive home why belief is so important and why the way that we talk to ourselves is important. Did you guys know that you are an average of the 5 people you spend most of your time with? You're an average. Your income is going to be the average of there. Your energy is going to be the average of there. Your life is going to be an average of the 5 people you spend most of your time with. So I'm gonna leave that thought there. We'll come back to it. Okay. So my son Kaiden, he's the kid on the far right. He is in the process of being diagnosed with ADD, and he thinks he's an idiot. He is one of the smartest, most thoughtful, sweetest humans I've ever known in my life. And I'm trying to help him with math. Okay. So just imagine with your kid, you're trying to show them how to do something, and they just keep interrupting you, saying, I'm so stupid, I'm never going to get it. And he just won't let it in, because when I try to explain something, he's like, I don't get it. I'm like, well, okay, well, first you got to open your eyes and look. He's like, why? It's just, I'm not going to get it. And then I'll show him, and then I'll have him do it on his own. He's like, this doesn't work. So as long as he is not willing to let in what I'm trying to teach him, because he is convinced it's not going to work for him. He is convinced he's not smart enough to get it. He's not good enough to get it. He's not worthy. He's never going to actually listen and try to find a different way of understanding it. Because, okay, I don't know if you guys have seen the math that they do at school now. And math teachers get so mad at parents when we say this. It's not the same that I learned, okay? It's not. It's so different. The way that they approach it is very different. And it actually does make sense once I saw how they did it. But his brain thinks actually very similar to mine, to the way my brain does. So once he started listening, it changed the game. But I want you to think of him saying this, or your child saying this, I'm so stupid, I'm never going to get it, is the same thing as when a mom walks in front of a mirror and says, I'm so stupid, or I'm so ugly, or I'm so fat, or I won't ever get it. I'm not good enough. Then we turn to external things to prove that, because guys, our brain wants more than anything to be right. That's actually how your brain works. It feels safe when it knows what's correct. Okay, so we look for evidence that our thoughts are correct. So if we're looking in the mirror and telling ourselves, I'm not good enough, I'm ugly, we're going to believe it, and we're going to find evidence of it. I did not think I was an attractive person until I was in my 20s, because I heard all the time, your nose is too big, Kira. Your teeth are too crooked. Your face is too, I have birthmarks and stuff. Because I told myself, right? And now I'm like, girl, I'm beautiful. But it took me not, like, even looking in the mirror, I convinced myself that I was ugly, just the same as my son. And for me, when I was trying to work with my son, I realized that he learned this behavior through me. And that about killed me, because I taught my son to talk to himself, because he heard me talk about myself that way. He heard me look at myself that way. I don't think I ever said anything like that extreme in front of a mirror in front of him. But until until you know to do better, when you know to do better, you do better, right? But I didn't know because that's how my mom talked about herself. And so that's what I taught to my son. So this changes today with building belief, or what I like to call, when we're building belief, I call it constructive ethos. So this is building the way that you're thinking and the way that you talk to yourself. And it starts with supports and leaning in and learning something different, right? So if nothing changes, what changes? We've got to make some changes. And here's the thing is your brain, when you're thinking, I've got to make changes, it kind of panics and it looks for, it really does want to do. We still have the same caveman brain that we did when we were cavemen. And that part of your brain, I call it the head voice, is meant to protect us. It's meant to keep us safe, because back, then if we were cast out because we were weirdos, we would be eaten by a saber-tooth tiger. We wouldn't have the protection of community, right? Or we didn't know where our next meal was coming from. So we had to be really careful to conserve energy. We don't need to do that anymore. So we get to hack our brains and change the way that we believe about ourselves, because belief drives behavior. And we want to engage in the behaviors that are going to help us live longer, be happier, be healthier, and help our children so that they don't have to recover from their childhood like we do. Okay. So what if you tried to change through love instead of hate? I've had clients who are like, they're exercising because they are punishing their body because they ate all the cookies. What if we didn't exercise to punish our body? What if we exercise to show our body love? Like, hey, you know what? You got me through some hard times. Now I'm going to move you to make you feel good because you deserve it. It's a completely, when you are making changes out of love instead of hate or frustration, you're going to be able to sustain those, and they're going to feel so much better. So here's a visual for you to kind of explain. Here's you, and here's your belief, okay? And your belief is going to fix so many problems in your life, right? So when I started to believe in myself, my financial problems changed. Remember living 3 days before, not just paycheck to paycheck, but 3 days before paycheck. When I started to believe in myself, not only did we close that gap, but also we took our family to their first family vacation to Disneyland. If you guys have ever been to Disneyland, it's crazy expensive, right? We went to Disneyland. It was crazy. When I started to believe in myself, I talked to myself different, and my children started to talk to themselves different, and my husband started to talk to me different, and the people around me, right? So between you and your belief, there's this guilt, experiencing boundary bullying. So maybe you've tried to have boundaries, or you've never had boundaries, because honestly, as women and mamas, we are respected more by society when we don't have boundaries, because people can take advantage of us. We need to change that, okay? We have shame, too much guilt, too much sacrifice, loneliness, doubt, saying no to ourselves. We say no to ourselves so often because we have to say yes to other people. So when we're saying yes to all of these different things, to the PTA, to keeping score at this kid's game, all these different things, when we're saying yes to all these things, is taking up space where we can't say yes to ourselves. So saying yes to this means I have to say no to that sometimes. Saying yes to spending all my time here means I can't spend that time for myself. So sometimes it's about having the confidence of saying, no, you know what? I'm not going to do that, because this is the time where I exercise. This is the time where I meditate. This is the time where I connect with my husband or my partner or my children, okay? And then that deconstructive ethos. So deconstructive ethos mostly being the way that you talk yourself down, okay? In between you and your belief is this burnout gap of all these different things that we do. This belief drives behavior, remember? So we believe that we should be guilty. We believe that we're not good enough. We believe those different things, right? That deconstructive. So what we're going to do is there are 3 tactical things that you could do to get your pink back. Oh, that's supposed to say get your belief back. Get your belief back. Okay. So there's that constructive ethos. We've talked about that, and we only have time to really go into one. So we're going to mostly talk about constructive ethos and building that belief. A simple, sustainable plan, and two-way accountability. Okay. Here's what's really, really cool is you can have the best plan in the world, but if you're doing it on your own, and I hear this all the time, well, I don't need your stuff, Kira, because I know exactly what I need to do. I'm like, okay, so then why haven't you done it? And that's not like asking in shame or guilt. I want them to be aware of, you have it, but you haven't done it because you don't have accountability, because you don't believe that you're important. So borrow my belief until you understand how important you are and how worthy you are. Okay. So if you don't learn self-belief through the practice of constructive ethos, you're going to end up continuing to let yourself down. You might do things like yo-yo dieting. That's what I did for sure. Self-deprecating talk, and live in constant exhaustion without ever getting your pink back, your belief back, or results that you've always wanted. Okay. So I love this quote. Someone's external success is a reflection of the work they have done inside. So the people that you see living the dream of being happy and being healthy, okay, if it's just like on Instagram, sometimes it's just for show. But guys, I'm happy. I'm so happy. And it's the work that I've done inside. You guys saw my body changed. It's not about the physical, it's about the work I've done inside. Okay. So if you don't learn self-belief through the practice of constructive ethos, you're going to continue yo dieting, going to those things that don't serve you. And that's what's going to lead to heart disease, diabetes, and perpetuating generational trauma and pushing these things onto our children. This, especially like you saw before, the self-deprecating talk that I did, pushing that onto my children. Okay. Our children don't have to wear the chains that we have worn for so long. If you do learn self-belief through the science of constructive ethos and mastering with these 3 pillars that I've talked about, you're going to finally get the energy and self-belief without having to sacrifice hours, your favorite comforts, and breaking the bank. Okay. So number 1 is simplicity. So when you have that sustainable plan, this is something that you continue. And one thing that's really, really cool is your coach is going to meet you where you're at. So if you're like, hey, you know what? The only thing I can do is drink a superfood shake. Great. Let's do that. And you're going to feel like a totally different human in 30 days. Okay. If the only thing I can do is like a 5-minute meditation, great. You're going to do a 5-minute meditation and you're going to feel amazing in 30 days, right? So what's really cool is we take it one thing at a time and meet you where you're at. You don't have to do everything at once. You will get results doing one thing at a time. Okay. So you're going to have the energy to do the things you've neglected for yourself in the past. Guys, I have hobbies. Hobbies. What mom has hobbies? A mom that has belief and takes care of herself, right? It is so fun to be able to have a hobby and like go do something. Game changer, I'm telling you. The first time my husband was like, you need to get hobbies, I was offended. Like, when am I supposed to get a hobby, right? What is this time going to open up? It changes the game, I'm telling you. Okay. Have the time, because 20 minutes is more doable for a busy mom. So we have programs where you just give us 20 minutes a day, and it's you speaking your love language to you, or the gift of whatever your love language is. Is it time? Is it acts of service? Is it a gift? Is it words of affirmation? We want you to give yourself 20 minutes of your love language a day. That's it. And if you're like, girl, I don't have 20 minutes, we're going to carve out 5 minutes. Give us 5 minutes a day, and you're going to feel like a totally different human. Okay. And we will sustain that. So it's called habit stacking. So you're going to do one thing and you're going to master it in 30 days. You're going to feel like you're going to feel amazing. And then if you want, we'll assess every 30 days. If you're like, okay, I can add another thing, we'll add another thing. If you're like, no, I need another 30 days of just this, we take it at your pace and what you need. Okay. We're going to talk about eating for energy, since foods don't have to be boring and 100% salads. Guys, I can't eat a salad every day. I can't. You saw the results I got. I didn't get them eating a salad every day. Okay. You're going to sleep better on a simple plan. When you have sleep, it's game changer. When you have a plan, we have these meal plans and we have these different plans that help you save money. So I have clients that actually do this literally just to save money, and we saved her $500 a month. It was crazy. There were the average was 500, I should say. So there was months where she saved a little bit more, a little bit less, but you save money on a simple plan. Okay. It's so more money, more sleep. Yes, I'm in, right? Okay. Two-way accountability. So this is when you have accountability. I like to call it an accountable allegiance plan. So that means that the person that you are holding yourself accountable, they're invested in you. The coach in here that invited you, or the coach whoever the coach is that invited you in here, they're here and inviting you because this has changed their life. And when they help change another person's life, they feel important. They feel lit up. They feel like they're walking in their purpose. It's so fun to get your own results, but when you help another person feel amazing, I can't even explain the joy it feels. It lights you up, and you can see through my energy and my smile and how excited I am here. There's words that don't explain it. So they actually genuinely care about you. Okay. So showing up with two-way accountability, you show up knowing you're not alone because you have not just your coach in here, but a community behind you. We have a community where we check in every single day with you and give you some love and inspiration, because what your diet isn't just what you eat, it's what you consume mentally and emotionally. So we're very strategic in the way that we coach you through and help you start believing in yourself. Okay. You're going to be seen and heard. Holy smokes. How many times is mama not seen and heard? How many times do you have to repeat to your children over and over and over again, like, hello, do you see me? Do you hear me? You're going to be seen and heard. And that's so important. You deserve to feel important. Okay. And you will. Okay. You will be recognized and celebrated every step of the way. I tell my people this all the time. What gets celebrated gets repeated. So we need to celebrate you every freaking day. Usually my calls with my clients, the first thing I ask is, okay, what's something we need to celebrate today? And I do that with my coaches too. What's something we need to celebrate today? Because that's what I want you to be thinking about and focusing on. And then we'll get into the things that we need to fix, right? But we've got to get that heart voice talking, okay? Piece number 3 is constructive ethos. And this is really what we've talked about, is changing the way that you're showing up. It's with confidence. You're going to feel empowered. When you show up feeling confident and empowered, you're going to feel excited. And you're going to get stuff done when you're excited. You're going to feel motivated. You're going to get stuff done when you feel motivated. You're going to treat people so differently because you trust the work that you did today will help your goal come into fruition. You feel purpose and direction. Now, it was hard for me to add purpose in here because I don't want people to feel like I'm saying you don't have purpose. Because as a mama, as a woman, you have so many hats that you're putting on, and those are important. But we forget about ourselves, and our joy is a part of our purpose. So when you're walking in your purpose and in the direction that's going to serve you, you're leading from the front. So one more big thing. You heard me talk about head voice, okay? So we have these two voices in our heads that are kind of battling each other. We have our head voice and our heart voice. So I call that the caveman brain. You've heard me talk about that. And then the heart voice is actually the true awareness brain. So this is when we're genuinely aware of what's going on, and we can separate the facts from the stories. So there's facts all around us, and we tell ourselves stories about them. And your story is going to change if you're in your head voice or if you're in your heart voice, okay? So if in your head voice, you're going to see a fact in the story you're going to tell yourself, it's going to be express itself in fear, in doubt, weakness, shame, judgment. You're going to feel like a failure. But you can have those exact same facts, and your story could be in hope, in love, and purpose, and joy, and you're going to feel successful. So an example of this would be I have 2 boys that have football games. I have a son that's playing baseball right now. And I could look at that fact that says he's at a baseball game and I'm right here working on a Saturday, giving some love on a Saturday. And I could tell myself, if I'm in the head voice, I'm a failure, I'm missing my son's stuff. But in my heart voice, I've said, you know what? My son is able to go to this game because I'm working. He has opportunities because I'm here doing something that lights me up, so he can do something that lights him up. So exact same fact, but a different story if I'm in my head voice and if I'm in my heart voice. Which one do you think feels better? That heart voice, right? Am I a horrible mom because I'm not at his first game? No. I actually have it playing on my phone. It's recording. I can see it. Right. And this is the first game I've missed. So he's okay. I'm not a horrible mom. So the head voice is going to be rooted in scarcity. The heart voice is rooted in abundance. So the problem is when we are constantly in a voice of scarcity, that's when we feel like we're a failure. That's when we can't do anything right. That's when we don't believe in ourselves enough to invest our time and our money and our energy into something that's going to make us feel good, make us feel worthy, make us feel important. And that's what everybody wants, is to feel important, is to feel worthy, is to feel loved. Okay. So let's look at the fact and separate and say, what I'm saying about this fact, is this a story or is this a fact? So for example, when I was first given an opportunity to look at the stuff that I'm doing, the fact was it costs whatever it costs, and the story was I can't afford it. I just can't afford it, right? This is too much. Okay. And then and then the feeling that created was defeated, and my actions was I didn't do it. So I said no to this opportunity 6 times before I said yes. And you know what changed that was my coach was like, Kira, you've never invested in this. So what's going to change if nothing changes? Number one, I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe the one, because I'd never actually spent money on things for myself. I'm like, okay, maybe that's a change I need to make. And he said, the most important thing too is that, Kira, you are worthy of spending that money on you. You are worthy of finding the money to spend on you. So these pillars, okay, and investing in these programs changed my life, because he asked me, okay, he's like, Kira, you know this is going to give you more confidence. You know this is going to give you more energy. You know this is going to help you connect with other people. What if your son had an opportunity to play on a team? What if your son had an opportunity to play on a team that you would give him more confidence, help him live longer, be happier, give him resilient tools, help him build a community and friendships that mattered? Would you find a way to find that money? I'm like, well, yeah, when you ask it that way, of course, but that's my son. He's like, okay, when your son becomes a parent, does that mean that he should stop? He shouldn't invest those things into himself? I'm like, no, I still want him to take care of himself. He's like, well, you need to do what you want him to do, not what you say. Right. So if I say no to myself, but yes to my son, I'm teaching him that when he becomes a parent, that he's not worthy of his own time and resources. Oh my gosh. That did me in, because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm sending him the message that when he becomes a parent, or when my daughter, you guys, I didn't have a daughter at the time, but when I put my daughter in this, when she becomes a mom, oh, I'm getting choked up just thinking about it. When she becomes a mama, I want her to do these things. I want her to do the things that find her joy. Because you know what? You bet your butt I would scrape together the $200 to put her on that team. So why won't I do that for myself? She's watching, right? So this is my why. This is why I'm here for you. This is why I'm here for my team, and why I do it every single day. Because when you're doing something that you enjoy, when you're filling your cup, it is so easy to show up for those around you. It is so easy to do the work when you focus on your why. And this is my beautiful team at a conference that we went to, and it was just so stinking cool. So are you guys okay if I tell you a little bit about the program opportunities? Is this okay? Am I good to show this? Okay. So in the program, here's some promises that are going to come along with our program outline. Okay. So you're going to be given a proven method. We've had hundreds of clients walk through this process. And in this proven method, you're going to fall in love with yourself by developing unshakable belief, organization, and self-control to create the body, mind, and life of your dreams without spending hours in a gym and going into debt. Okay. You're going to be given time carving tools, literally a printout where you're going to carve out your time together, which is going to help you feel like your full plate is not so full. We're going to relieve that by making 24 hours genuinely feel longer. It's legit. It's changed the game for me. Okay, leaving you with more time than you've ever had before to accomplish everything you want and still feel like you have enough time to enjoy your family and create memories. Okay, you're going to get our exact blueprint on how to get pumped and excited for life by creating a sacred routine that drags you out of brain fog and gives you the energy and motivation that you've been craving. An accountability system with daily check-ins. We check in with you every single day. And then we have a bi-weekly, that's supposed to say bi-weekly Q&A check-in sessions to help you dig deeper into your personal struggles and get the answers that you really need. You are going to get our high performance habit tracking system that will save you time and energy and make showing up for yourself feel guiltless and effortless. Guiltless is so important. Guilt is something that we carry so much as mamas, and we need to get rid of that, right? Tactical stress relieving and stress reversing techniques to create mental clarity and improve relationships and get you more restful sleep. You're going to notice that there's some things that are like kind of common: sleep, reversing stress, mental clarity, getting rid of brain fog. Those are so stinking important. Okay. If you choose that you want to dive into nutrition, there are done for you nutrition plans. You literally just click on a link. It takes you to Walmart and you can hit add to cart. It's so easy. You just pick up your stuff and cook. Or if we even have meal plans where you're cooking just once or twice a week, it just depends on what you want. There also is a gut healing option because so many people have food sensitivities. We have options that eliminate the 7 main food sensitivities that are super delicious. Because if you don't enjoy what you're eating, it's not sustainable, right? We got to go back to that simple, sustainable plan. We want to be able to sustain it, okay? So here's what's crazy is if you work with a life coach, okay, as a life coach, for my services, I have programs that are $2,000. I realize though that most people cannot afford to just pay $2,000 or $500 a month. Like that's crazy. So we partner with this incredible company to give you more affordable options. Okay. So here's what is my jam. This is my jam because it comes with my, I call it Mama Juice. This stuff is like liquid motivation. Okay. It's amazing. And this is the superfood you heard me talk about. So this stuff plus life coaching is typically $1,000 a month. So that's even cheaper. It's $333 a month. But what's really, really cool is the reason why we partner with this company, and that's why we're obsessed with them, is because you get access to all of this for $219. So you're going to get the belief, you're going to get the coaching, you're going to get the daily check-ins, you're going to get the accountability, the two-way system, and all of this for $219. But what's really cool is we actually have a discount code for $20 off. So it's even cheaper. Okay. Now, what's really cool is you get access to us and to this for an entire year. So $219, or what is that? $190 for access for an entire year and a month of this stuff. And then what we'll do is reassess. And in 30 days, if you're like, I don't feel amazing, we can send it back and you get your money back. Okay. You just have to send that back with shipping and you will get a refund. So there's literally no risk. The only risk is not doing it. The only risk is not feeling better, because if you don't, you're going to find yourself back over and over and over fighting the same battle, because what we resist persists, right? So filling our cups. And what's really, really cool is just yesterday, there's a new option released. So if you're still struggling with $219 for the entire year, remember, there is an option for $99 a month where you get access to the workouts. The only thing is you're only going to get access to the workouts once every month, and it renews every month, but that's totally fine. So if you are a coach or preferred client, I think it comes to $79 a month. But for $99 a month, you're going to get access. So this is a monthly, you go every 30 days. I do recommend sticking with it for 3 to 6 months just to get the best, to really let it sink in and get your body, because we need to rewire the way that we think, right? In order to believe. We have however old you are, 30 plus years of learning in our head that this is the way life is. But most people aren't happy, right? Most people aren't healthy. So it's going to take some time to rewire the way that we think and to really believe and hold that belief. Okay. If you decide to just go 30 days, you're going to feel amazing in 30 days. Okay. There's a guarantee, obviously. Like if you don't feel good, we'll send it back and you get your money back. But I love having this option so you can try it out, fill it out, and see how you feel. But for $99 a month, it is worth it to feel amazing, to have your belief. That's that guarantee that I told you about. So here's the thing. This is me and my baby girl. How much you grow is a direct proportion to how much they choose to grow. How you choose to view yourself with curiosity versus judgment will ripple to her. When you tell her she can achieve anything she wants in her life, she's going to believe you because she watched you do what you said you wanted to do. When you have hard conversations about life, grief, pain, and trauma, she's going to know they won't always hold her because she's witnessing you heal in real time. Life isn't about being the perfect parent. It's about admitting missteps, faults, and owning your shit. It's about teaching your kids that being human is the greatest spiritual experience and greatest gift of all time. Let's not miss it. Let's not miss life chasing the past. Let's commit to growth, radical ownership, and level up. The alignment, the clarity, the work. The hard work is heart work. It will set you free, free you to be you, free to be me, free to be you, free to be me, and that is enough. Our babies are watching, and they're going to learn how to treat themselves when they're parents by the way we treat ourselves. We are worthy of the investment, not just of our money, but of our time. We're worthy of asking for help. And that was one of the hardest things that I've ever done. And these are just some testimonials of some of my longest, oldest clients. And it's just so cool. And I'm so proud and honored to walk among, Bethany and Shannon, and Lisa's going to be watching the recording. Lynn, I'm so happy you guys are here. I love you guys so much. And I'm so passionate about what I do. And this is amazing. So if you're still like, oh, I want to do this, but I just can't afford it. I want you to think about what you're going to feel like in 3 months if you don't do this. Okay. What's going to change? And then I want you to think about what would it feel like in 3 months if I actually do it? If I choose to believe? Is it going to be different? Let's think about the value versus the cost. What's the cost if I don't do it? What am I going to get out of this? So I want to remind you, you are worthy of your time. You are worthy of your investment, and you are worthy of our time as well. I love you so much. And whoever invited you into this, please get back to them. Let them know what you thought, how you felt, and where you're at. And we can help prepare you to get to the point where you are ready to take it, either whether it's go all in with everything or whether it's take it one step at a time. But I promise you, like Kalina, who she just started with having breakfast. Okay. I need a more recent picture because she's lost another 50 pounds since this. And she looks incredible because she feels incredible. The smile and the pride that she has. So I need to update this. And I just realized that I haven't done it. This was, so freaking proud of her. So yeah, get to your person, let them know, are you in? Are you thinking about it? We can do an individual one-on-one chat with you and your coach. But I hope that you have the rest of your Saturday in belief and in awe of what you've done and what you've already lived your hardest days, right? So I hope that you celebrate that and celebrate yourself. And I hope to see you guys next week when we start our next challenge, or the first week of October. I love you guys.